Hi Sagittarius, welcome to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. Today is January 2nd, 2020. Happy New Year. Hope your holiday season went well and I hope you're excited for 2020 as I am. This is a general love reading for the first part of January 2020 for the sign of Sagittarius. Because it's a general reading, it can pertain to any kind of relationship, situation, or circumstance. You name it, it might apply. Also, be flexible with the energy. Don't be concerned about the gender of the cards or the pronouns that I'm using to describe them. You can interchange the roles within the reading. You might be represented by any of the characters that shows up. Also, you might feel like I'm reading for you, but you could also feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with. So as always, take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. My intention is to reach the people who need the message the most and who will benefit the most from the message. Okay, Sagittarius? So we're going to give this deck one more shuffle and we'll get started. Let's see what's going on for Sagittarius in the first part of 2020. Here we go. In your underlying energy, 3 of Wands, paired with the 9 of Wands. 5 of Swords, 4 of Swords, Page of Cups in reverse, 3 of Swords in reverse, Queen of Swords, and the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so I've got a couple clear messages right off the start. It feels like, Sagittarius, you've been waiting on something, waiting for something to transpire, waiting for something to come in. It's something you've been fighting for a long time. I feel like you're ready. What I got from these two cards is you're ready to lay down the swords and give up the fight. That this has been going on maybe for quite a period of time and you're ready to rest. Maybe ready to reap the benefits of your hard work, ready to watch your ships come in because the battle has been long and hard. This does feel like there could have been some relationship woes, maybe some relationships that fell apart or things that didn't work out in the love department in some way, shape, or form that you might be recovering from. Maybe some relationships had to be sacrificed in order for you to accomplish something. And I don't mean that you were, slicing and dicing people out of your life just randomly. I mean that maybe you had to let go of some relationships that weren't healthy or weren't right for you, or that were holding you back or keeping you from your dreams. And they could have been relationships within a family dynamic. 10 of Pentacles in reverse for me often indicates a group of people, family dynamic, relationships of longevity. And if it's in the reverse, it could indicate disharmony. This can be, this card can indicate divorce or separating out assets, dividing up assets. It could be a divorce that I'm seeing here, but I'm not indicating that. I'm just telling you what the possible meanings of this card are. I just do feel like there has been maybe some relationships you've cut out of your life because you had to. I do feel like the Queen of Swords is your energy. This is somebody who has been through it and back. This is somebody who, some people think the Queen of Swords is a little bit cold and lacks emotion and feelings, but she is just a decisive individual. Again, somebody who maybe is a little bit standoffish or has removed her emotions from the equation because she has been through a lot and she's had to deal with some heartache. And so moving forward, maybe the best laid plan is to do this with the head and not the heart, and make some logical decisions and not some emotional decisions in regards to wherever it is that you're headed, where you're moving toward, Sagittarius. Let's get this next deck going. I do feel like you're still in the process of battling some things. You're still fighting for whatever it is that you are trying to accomplish, or whatever it is that you're moving toward. It's not a done deal yet. You don't have, there's no end product here. There's no 10 of Cups on the table yet. I do just feel like you're at this point now where the hard part is over. The fighting is over, and now you can maybe sit back a little bit and kind of wait for things to transpire, because you put the hard work in, you made the plans, you put in the time and the effort, and now it's time to reap some reward. Let's see what else we get for you, Sagittarius. Clarifying the Three of Wands, we have the Eight of Swords in reverse. And the Nine of Wands is clarifying the Nine of Wands. So this has definitely been a fight. This has been a battle. This has been rough. But you're still standing. This is not Nine of Wands in reverse. This isn't you giving up by all means. I do feel, again, based on what I'm seeing in these underlying energy cards, that you've been released now from the fight, from the battle, and released from the waiting, frankly, that now it's time to see some results from whatever it is you've been working on. We have the Knight of Pentacles, Justice, Nine of Cups in reverse, Knight of Cups, the Sun, clarifying the Queen of Swords, and the Three of Wands in reverse, clarifying the Ten of Pentacles. So this is more of what I was seeing at the beginning. Again, I think this has been a slow, long process, something you've been dealing with for a while, and something you've had to fight for. You've had to put a lot of energy into this, but you've been making slow, consistent progress, and probably not moving as fast as you would have liked, because I do feel, again, that you're still waiting to see your ships come in. You're still waiting to see the results, but this is a time of rest. This is a time of reflection, and you've earned it. You've earned where you are right now. You've put the work in. Again, like I said before, I think there's been some loss, and this has not been something that you've wanted, to maybe release some relationships that were not so healthy, so that you could possibly move towards relationships or connections that are more healthy for you, or healthier for you, not more healthy. You know what I mean? But it hasn't been without its heartache, grief, sorrow, and some pain. But I do feel that you're in the process of healing, not in the process, but have healed from some past relationship woes, and you are moving toward reaping the rewards of your benefits. Minus what you've had to remove out of your life. Now you're moving toward what you know is right for you, Sagittarius. This is feeling like this is a positive reading. It feels very good. It feels like you have, from what I'm seeing in this first two set of cards, put in more than your share of work in regards to whatever this is for you, that you have been persistent and unyielding and moving forward despite maybe the naysayers, the people who would hold you back, or the people who would, you know, put those negative thoughts in your head, and maybe those were some of the relationships you had to release out of your life, the people who were not supportive of you or unwilling to see you through in this endeavor of yours, the people who were not on your side, or maybe the people that were jealous of you, or just unwilling to participate in your success. Let's get some more cards, Sagittarius. So we have the Star, and the Three of Pentacles. This could be a work situation. Maybe it's a brand new job. Maybe it's a new business that you're starting for yourself, new project, something that will end up being profitable for you. For the record, we have Justice again in the upright position on the bottom of the deck. Judgment in reverse. King of Cups in reverse. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. 10 of Cups. The Hanged Man in reverse. And the Three of Swords, clarifying the 10 of Pentacles. So there's a lot of hope in your energy. Again, a feeling that you have put in the time, you put in the work. Now it's time to be released from having to wait for this, because you're hopeful that your efforts will be fruitful and the fight has been worth it. Because this new endeavor, whatever this is for you, looks very positive. Looks like it's you're going to see the results very soon. This King of Cups in reverse could potentially be someone that was one of the people that maybe was holding you back, or trying to convince you that some of the decisions you were making were incorrect or wrong, or maybe you were following the wrong path. It's possible this person could have potentially been a little bit emotionally manipulative with you, and in that way I mean that they were, because if this was someone very close to you, family member, friend, them telling you that you were headed in the wrong direction or making the wrong decisions, definitely was something you had to fight against, because you've been battling, again, this need to move forward. And again, I feel like there's been people in your life who have put on the brakes for you, or have caused you to slow down or second guess, or possibly feel a little insecure about where you're headed or what you've been doing or what you want, feeling like you don't have what it takes. Maybe you didn't have the means, financial means, or the resources. And the lack of support, I feel, in some of these relationships, again, was not something that you wanted or felt good about, but it was just one of those realities in your life that you've been dealing with, that you've been putting up with. Again, I do feel like some of these relationships possibly that you've left behind, or at least some of them that you've walked away from temporarily or permanently, has caused some grief and heartache, and maybe some disruption within a family unit. It's possible that the people that you've dealt with in the past who were not necessarily supportive of your dreams or whatever it was you were working on or working toward, now that they see that the results are positive and in your favor, that things are starting to happen for you, that you're moving in the right direction, that you are seeing results. Maybe now at this point in time, they're starting to second guess their resistance to support you and help you through this, because they might now be seeing your perspective, seeing where you were coming from, and starting to see why you were doing what you were doing, or how, you know, what the decisions that you made, why you made those decisions. And maybe had they been more supportive, and maybe had they been on your side and standing by you all this time, it would have benefited them too. It's kind of like that story of the little red hen who made the bread, if you're familiar with it. She asks her friends, the duck and the fox, and I don't remember the whole story of the squirrel. She asks all her friends for help when she's growing the wheat and harvesting and making the bread, and nobody wants to help her. Everybody's too lazy. They're doing their own thing, or they don't think that what she's doing is important or whatever. And then the end result, she's made this delicious bread, and they all, of course, want some of it. They think it smells great, and they're excited to eat it, but she's all, well, you didn't help me. This is all for me. That's what I'm getting. That's the story I got out of these cards. You know, of course, now you want to be my friend because my ships have come in. Now the bread is baked and you want to slather it with butter and eat it up, but you were not willing to harvest the wheat with me. You weren't willing to knead the dough or, you know, put it in the oven, but now that it's all done, you want a piece of it, says Sagittarius. Well, I don't think so. It doesn't work that way, right, Sagittarius? Okay, so we have the Seven of Wands, Seven of Cups in reverse, Eight of Wands, Ten of Wands in reverse, Six of Swords, Two of Cups in reverse, Four of Cups, and the Ten of Swords in reverse. Let's get this last round out. So again, we have the Six of Swords clarifying the Nine of Cups. I get the feeling like you've had to make some tough decisions in regards to specifically relationships that you've been dealing with, having to move on or moving away from the people who are just not supportive. On the one hand, it's been, you know, you've been dealing with some grief surrounding that. On the other hand, I feel like it's opening up the possibility of new opportunities in love and relationships and connections. And the people you're leaving behind are being forced to think about what's transpired, and Sagittarius, how you've moved forward and what you've decided to do. And now they're having to reflect on this, watching you walk away and reap the benefits of your hard work, and wondering why they've been left behind or left in the dust. But I think you've been clear since the beginning. Your communication, clear with your motives, clear with your intent, and maintained that you're going to defend your stance and stick with it, and your perseverance has paid off, because that's how it works, right, Sagittarius? Temperance, Devil, Four of Wands, Three of Wands again, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Two of Wands, Six of Cups, and the Page of Cups in reverse, which is a repeat card. There's been a lack of loyalty and lack of sincerity. Lack of support, like I said in the past, excuse me, in regards to some of the relationships you've been dealing with. And these are people that you've been close to, people that you have a solid connection with. And I think that they just weren't clear on some of the decisions you made. Maybe they were calling your bluff. Maybe they thought, oh, Sagittarius is just blowing hot air. They are not pursuing this, or they're not going to achieve this accomplishment. I think you've been fighting devil energy, and by that I mean you've been battling the idea that you can't achieve what you want to achieve. You can't have what you want to have. The people in your life who've been negative about where you've been going or what you've been pursuing, how you've been going about doing it, you've been battling this, because let's face it, when you're close to people and they don't support you and they don't have your back, it is tough. It makes you feel like you're all alone, that you have to battle this by yourself, and it can put you into some negative headspace. But you've battled this, and as a result, things have become clear to not just you and others, but you are going to see your ships come in. There is hope, because you have put the effort and the work into this, and it's going to transpire for you. That's what the cards are telling me, Sagittarius. I feel strongly that this is a very positive reading, and again, despite the trials and tribulations you've been dealing with, you're going to come out all shiny and new on the other end, and people are going to be blinded by your light, and they're going to be like, wait a minute, I didn't see this coming. I didn't see where Sagittarius was going. I didn't see that this could be possible. And they're going to wish that they had stuck around, because what they've done is they've relieved themselves of the potential of being a part of what you have manifested for yourself, or at least being connected to you in a way that would benefit them as well. And I don't mean that you were going to do all this hard work so that you could pay everybody's bills and that kind of thing. What I mean is, when positive things happen in people's lives, the people that surround them, the people who have given them support and love and compassion and help them maintain their hope for their dreams, they benefit too, because it rubs off. I mean, that positive energy would rub off on the people that surround you as well. That's just how it works. So we have a Queen of Pentacles on the table in reverse. This potentially is someone that you've also had to release in addition to this King of Cups in reverse. Queen of Pentacles in reverse can be a greedy energy, or an energy of someone who's just kind of all about themselves, maybe not so careful with money. Again, this is something you've moved away from. This is possibly someone who would have been detrimental to your future, or detrimental to your dream, or whatever it is you're working toward or moving toward. And so you had to release some relationships that were toxic in your life in order to move forward with what you are meant to have, because you worked for it. I think that the people that you've been dealing with, the relationships maybe that you've let go, this isn't something that's brand new to you. It's not something that, the behavior or the reactions or the interactions with the people that you've surrounded yourself with throughout this process, they've never necessarily, they haven't always, what I'm trying to say is their behavior hasn't changed over time. This is kind of the norm for the relationships you've had to release. It's not like these people were super positive, great people in your life and they were really supportive and loving, and then all of a sudden you're going towards this dream and they turned into the naysayers and the toxic relationships that you had to release. I think that the relationships have been pretty consistent over time. In other words, these people didn't just change overnight. They are who they are. And I think that maybe you realize that throughout this process. Maybe, throughout this process of doing something for yourself and working towards something that was right for you, you realize that there are people in your life that just don't have your best interest in mind. And it's always been that way. It's not something that they're not just coming out of the woodworks and all of a sudden they're evil, bad people. And I'm not calling them evil and bad. They're just not people who have your best interest in mind or who are very supportive. And I think you've realized that throughout this process. And it's been difficult. We've got the Three of Swords out here, and Three of Swords twice, once in the reverse and once in the upright. And this is indicative of, heartache and hardship and sorrow and grief and feeling like, people have really done you wrong. And I feel like that's true in this case, that there have been people you've been really close to that have significant close relationship, again, family members, close friends. And, this King of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, they're certainly two of the more significant relationships that maybe you've had to leave behind, but there could be others. Let's get a card for you, Sagittarius, to end this reading. See if we can't get some advice from Spirit on next steps forward, or maybe some more clarity on the situation. This reading has been mostly about, again, relationships maybe that you've had to leave behind in pursuit of this endeavor, whatever it is for you. And whatever this is for you, it's going to be different for everybody. Could be a relationship. There are cards on the table that indicate that you might be making some decisions to move towards more positive relationships after having left some behind. You've got the Ten of Cups, Knight of Cups, Two of Wands on the table that were with this group of cards, with the Two of Cups in reverse, with the Three of Swords in reverse. So leaving behind some relationships in order to open the door for new ones, for new positive energy to come in. People who are meant to be in your life because they will support you and love you and care for you, and it will be unconditional. We all make mistakes and we all decide to do things that either end up being good for us or bad for us, but what we want more than anything is the support and love of the people that we're closest to, right? And you should be allowed to make mistakes. If you're headed in the wrong direction, sure, they can give advice. Doesn't mean they can't support you and say, hey, I know you're going to make this decision regardless. I'm here for you. I'm in your corner. If you need anything, that's what supportive, loving people do. Even if they think maybe you're moving in the wrong direction, they can have an opinion about it, but they still should be supportive and loving and caring and giving unconditional love regardless. Okay, one card for Sagittarius, Spirit. We'll finish up this reading here. One card for Sagittarius. Is that the one? That's the one. Destiny. I love this card. It's a good card for this reading. It's definitely probably going to resonate. If you've been resonating with this reading to begin with, this card will resonate for you too. So let's go ahead and read this. It did come out upright. And I'll display it for you while I read. Here we go, Sagittarius. Hang on. My nose is a little itchy. The Destiny card represents the 8th reason for being, to embrace your destiny. Your destiny is twofold. You have a universal destiny and a personal destiny. Your universal destiny is to become whole and connected, to find your center, to overcome all that destroys your peace, to face your fears, let go of hurts, and love yourself and your life with unreserved delight. You also have a personal destiny, And that destiny involves seeking and following your bliss. Your destiny is to find and lead a life that has meaning and purpose. But your destiny is not going to be found out there in the world. You must step inside and explore your heart and mind. Your destiny is not predetermined. It is your choice. It is a choice you will make based on your inherent gifts and talents. To meet your destiny, you must first discover and recognize what those gifts and talents are, and then work to use them for the benefit of self and others. To know you have a destiny or multiple destinies can give a sense of purpose and confidence. It can bring you joy, peace, and fulfillment. However, your journey toward meeting your destiny can be filled by However, your journey toward meeting your destiny can be full of obstacles and trials. Like the quests of old, this is your quest. But instead of seeking an intangible holy grail, you move towards something tangible and real. There are activities and interests that inspire your passion and love that make you feel complete and imbue you with a sense of righteousness. Of rightness, not righteousness, rightness. It is these things that you are destined to do. It could be gardening, it could be painting, it could be fixing broken things and repurposing them. It could be healing, it could be protection, it could be anything. But the key to recognize it is how it makes you feel and what you are willing to do in order to make it a key part of your life. You are never too old or too young to seek your divine purpose. So, I don't know. To me, that's absolutely relevant in this reading. You are moving toward your destiny, and you had to battle some negative energy, some negative feedback, some negative people. But your ships are coming in, and it's because you fought for it, and you fought against the toxic energy in your life, and it's coming. Your 10 of Cups is coming, Sagittarius, so congratulations. You've done the work, and you deserve to reap the benefits. I think this was a very positive reading, and I enjoyed doing it. So Sagittarius, I'm going to leave that here. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that it resonated. If it did, and if you've made it to the end of this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate you viewing the video, and I am hopeful that all will work out in the positive for you in the future. Happy 2020, Sagittarius. Thank you for joining me, and please see me again sometime. Bye.